Mornings are my favorite time of day. Aristotle once said, "It is well to be up before daybreak, for such habits contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom." For many of us, with the rise of the sun and fueled with a morning cup of coffee, each day brings new opportunities that often begin with us physically or virtually having to share ideas. Whether it's a pitch to get funding for a project, a proposal for a new initiative, or whether it's you as a student or educator teaching about a topic, each presentation affords us the opportunity to engage, inspire, and empower. Creating these kinds of presentations never happens in one setting. Sometimes I'm at my desk, sometimes I'm relaxing on the sofa reading a book or watching a TV, and all of a sudden I'll have an idea. It happens in collaboration with others. Ideas can come anytime and anywhere. My go-to application for building presentations is Keynote, and for too long I've always had to plan in another place, usually Google Docs in collaboration with others, or worst of all, via email attachments. But I'm so excited today to be able to share the updates to Keynote and the other iWork Suite apps that now allow me to do everything all in one place, anytime, anywhere.
Hello everyone, and thanks again for joining me today. Fall has arrived, and with it, it is bringing so many transitions, from skirts to scarves to the changing colors of leaves outside, getting our homes ready for the holidays. There's so much excitement going around. But today in particular, I want to talk about one that my clients and colleagues have been buzzing about, and that is the transition from PowerPoint to Keynote. One of the things that I was really sort of surprised about was how many people thought that the transition from PowerPoint to Keynote would be something really difficult. So a lot of the people that I work with have Macs, they have iPads, they've got iPhones, yet none of them are taking advantage of the free software available. Now, a lot of these updates that I'm going to talk about today do apply across the iWork suite, so they apply to Keynote, Pages, and Numbers. However, in this video, I'll be focusing specifically on Keynote for iOS. And what's really interesting is that sometimes just by changing the tool, you can unleash a creative side of yourself that perhaps you didn't even know existed. The standard templates, fonts, and bullets don't always captivate your audience and get your message across in the most effective way that you would like to. I'll be sharing lots more over on my blog, so if you have a minute, go subscribe. And also, if you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Now, Apple have created these amazing starter guides that go along with some of their software, and so I'm not going to go too much into the details of how to use each and every single part of it, but I'm going to highlight some of the main features that I've been highlighting with my clients and my colleagues over the past 2 weeks. So today I'll be covering how to get started with Keynote, the formatting tools and the different icons and what they mean, and then I'll be sharing the 2 new updates that came along with iOS 10, which are live collaboration and live presentation. So let's get started. So unlike the Office suite, there's no subscription model that you need to sign up for when you first open up the app. So let's go ahead, open up Keynote, and this is what your home screen window will look like. You might not have anything there right now, but when you do, you'll see thumbnails of all of your created presentations. And if you can't find what you're looking for, simply type a few words into the search bar and your presentation should pop up. Up at the top right, tap the plus to begin a new presentation, or come over to the left-hand side of the screen, and the first thumbnail says Create Presentation. Here you'll be able to select from a number of different themes. So let's get started with the one that seems to have everyone the most confused, the icons and the formatting options. So over here on the screen, you'll see that Keynote prompts you with directions. So to type, you can go ahead and double tap the text box, and you can replace it with your own words. On the bottom right of all the images on your template, you will see the plus icon, and this prompts you to be able to change the image should you wish to do so. Tap on it and your photo library will appear. With PowerPoint, you're used to the formatting toolbar. However, in Keynote, you have 4 icons that pretty much house everything. The first icon is the play button, and like PowerPoint as well, this will place your presentation into full screen mode, and this is really for when you are ready to present. The next icon is a paintbrush, sort of known as your style icon. This will change based upon the item that you are editing or formatting. So for example, if I select my text and then tap the paintbrush, I'll see formatting options for my text. You'll notice there are a few different tabs. The first tab gives me style options. The second tab shows me formatting options, and the third tab has options for how to arrange my text. If I tap on an image and then tap the paintbrush, you'll notice my options are aligned to my image. The first tab has style options. The second tab has options for editing my image. Now, I want to pause here for a moment and talk specifically about one thing that you're going to see in here, and that's called Edit Mask. And I think this is the one that tends to trip people up the most. In PowerPoint or in some of your other areas that you're used to the word crop when you're working with images. In most Apple software, they use the term mask. And what this does is if you go to Edit Mask, you'll see sort of the little circles pop up around your image that you're working with, and you can adjust those and it will crop your image down to the size that it is that you want. Another new term that you might see here is Instant Alpha, and this one's really fantastic. So remember all of those presentations that you used to see where somebody might have like a black background and then they might have like 3 images on their slide, and 2 of the images might have a white background to them, sort of clashing with the actual slide. Instant Alpha allows you to get rid of that background and make it transparent. So your image is perfectly aligned beautifully against the background of your slide. Next on the toolbar, you have the plus icon. Here you will be able to add in different elements into your presentation. So if we tap on it, the first tab allows you to insert a chart. Notice on the bottom, the small gray circles indicate that we should swipe. So go ahead, swipe to the left, and you'll see multiple options. The second tab is to insert charts and graphs. Here you can choose from 2D, 3D, or interactive charts. The third tab is to add in text boxes or shapes. Again, swipe to the left to see multiple options. And the last tab is to add media from your device. Or if you look at the bottom of the list, you'll see that you can also take a photo or video from directly within Keynote. Next up on the toolbar, we have our 3 dots, which always indicate that there are more options. When you tap here, you'll see additional formatting options and settings for your presentation. Now, like I mentioned before, I'm not going to be able to cover everything about Keynote, but the starter guide has been tagged down below. And like I said, subscribe to my blog for lots more updates, as I'll be talking about these transitions all month long. And always remember, you can reach out to me via email or any one of my social media channels, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Now, when used correctly, transitions can create a really powerful effect to your presentations. To add a transition to your slide, simply tap the thumbnail of your slide on the left and tap Transition. The transition menu will appear and you'll be able to select from a variety of options and adjust your transition settings using the Options tab on the bottom right. Wonderful! So you have created your first presentation, or you've at least become familiar with how to create your first presentation, and you're ready to begin presenting. If you go ahead and tap the play button, your presentation will now enter the full screen mode. Now, it doesn't look like it, but you've got a lot of options here as well. One of the first things you can decide is how you want your presenter view to look. So you want your full screen slide to be showing to your audience, but what do you want your screen to look like? Because you can customize it with a few different options. Another thing you may not have noticed are some of the markup opportunities that you have. So while presenting, you have a laser pointer and some drawing tools available to you to highlight key areas on your slide while presenting. Now remember, these are not permanent marks on your slides, they are temporary while you are presenting.
Live collaboration allows you to work with multiple people in real time in the cloud. Now, to activate live collaboration, come over to the top right-hand side of your screen and tap on the 3 dots. The first option is Collaborate with Others. If you tap here, you'll be able to share your presentation with anyone who has Keynote. And for those using a PC, when they get the link, all they have to do is log in with iCloud.com and they'll be able to access and edit your presentation as well. Once we tap Continue, you can choose how to share your presentation and set the viewing options. My recommendation is sending an email. This way, everyone can document it for their reference.
So the second update that I'm going to talk about is Keynote Live. And a lot of you probably know that using a projector is not always the most user-friendly thing. One of the really nice things about being able to send your slides out to everyone's devices is that these days so many of us are working remotely, or so many times we're having a small group meeting, or we're doing a virtual presentation. And one of the things a lot of times that happens with a virtual presentation is in the beginning, when you're saying your hellos, your face is up there on the screen, but shortly thereafter, it's replaced quickly with your slides, and that's what people see for most of the time. What's nice about being able to push your presentation out to people's devices, whether they are next to you or whether they are in other locations, is that you can maintain that face-to-face on screen because everybody has their presentations on their devices. And obviously there are so many third-party applications that will allow you to do this, but I think it's not having everything all in one usually allows for a much more efficient workflow and just a process that's a lot more streamlined. So let's take a look at how you can begin. So to get started, go ahead and tap on the 3 dots and you will see Keynote Live. Once you tap on there, you will then be able to invite viewers personally via email, or if you like, you can send a link out either beforehand or when they arrive. This way, they'll be able to use that to access your presentation. And once that's done, you'll be able to see how many people have joined in. Remember, this can be done from a PC as well, as long as they log into iCloud.com. These 2 updates have been so exciting, and it was really unexpected for me to see that so many people actually thought that Keynote was a really challenging software to use and had never really even touched the free app on their iPad before. And so one of the things that I think is so great about this update is a lot of people are taking a second look at Keynote, and so I hope you found this video to be useful. If you are one of those people that was thinking about transitioning or has always wondered how to get started with Keynote, I hope you found today's video to be of use. If you have any questions or concerns or challenges that you're experiencing with Keynote, or if you have amazing stories to share, drop me a line down in the comments below. I always love hearing what it is that you guys are doing. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd love if you could give it a thumbs up. As always, if you'd like more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and join me on my other social media networks. Until next time, goodbye.